The floor to Mr. Kairidis, the co-chair, my colleague. You have the floor.
Hi from Athens. Unfortunately, due to the Ukrainian crisis, I was unable to fly to Strasbourg and to be with you, Alessandro. But I see the work is going ahead full speed, and I'm very proud and happy with our achievements so far, and more optimistic than in the beginning about something substantive and real coming out of our proceedings. Now, I take Mr. Beck's considerations very seriously, but as you said, it's not for our working group to resolve them. They should be brought up at the highest possible level, probably at the plenary, and the co-organizers and co-conveners of our work should respond in the most appropriate, comprehensive, and direct and transparent way, so that there is no doubt and there is no cloud over the representativeness of our citizens, and therefore the representatives of their recommendations and proposals. Now, obviously, we are meeting here under the very heavy and dark shadow of the war in Ukraine. There is no need for me to spend too much time in condemning the outrageous invasion by Russia of an independent European country. But obviously what is going on there has a direct influence on what is going on here. And overall, it can provide, if I can use this word, a positive push for Europe to unite more and to get stronger. In regards to our work on migration, refugees, asylum, we are witnessing a major refugee crisis unfolding, the biggest in post-war European history, as it seems, with 2 million people already crossing the western borders of Ukraine, and estimates talking about 5 or even double that, depending on how the situation evolves in Ukraine. So we are at a very serious crossroad. We are encouraged by the fact that in this refugee crisis, unlike the previous one, we are much more united and much more in solidarity with each other. And this is very positive and heartening. I cannot resist the temptation, obviously, as a Southern European, to make the point that countries that were very closed and hostile back in 2015 and the crisis thereafter to inflows of refugees are today at the very forefront of dealing with this crisis, and they are much more generous, and this is good. And countries that back then were very opposed to distributing the burden much more equitably around the EU are now the ones that are requesting the solidarity of others as frontline states and as the states that have the biggest burden, 1.3 million already in Poland, and some 100,000 of people in Hungary, to be precise. So there is an irony in all this, which beyond highlighting, I think it's a positive development that makes everybody realize that this is a common problem that needs a common solution, obviously. Now, I had my doubts in the beginning of our exercise about the practicality and validity and substance of the proposals, and there was a fear of this whole exercise turning into a talking shop without specific recommendations. But I think I have to commend the citizens for working hard and doing a very good job in being practical, detailed, and concrete in their proposals. So let me just summarize very briefly along the three tracks that we identified from the beginning, starting with legal migration, and having to say that in the proposals, we agree that there is a need for a legal and
Dimitris, in 1 minute if you can, because we have to go to the plenary. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Yes, time has passed. So a legal path to migration, and with various opportunities with information, raising awareness on both the immigrants and the European citizens about this and that. Now, on the irregular migration, I'm happy to see that human rights are non-negotiable for our citizens. I'm also happy to see that there is excessive burden among EU border states in that regard, and we need to support them and show solidarity. And thirdly, we need to do something about the countries of origin under the basis of a more for more, meaning more aid for more results. And finally, when it comes to asylum, we need to tighten and consolidate our national policies into a European asylum system, which is good and has been a discussion, a long discussion, but now it becomes more concrete. Let me thank you, Alessandro, my friend and co-chair, Alessandro Alfieri, for the wonderful job, and promise to see you live next time at the end of the month. Thank you.
Thank you, Dimitris. Thank you for your contribution. I think we did a good work. I appreciate the work of the citizen, the work on the recommendation, and we will write to you about the next step from now to next week, because we have work to do together. Thank you a lot.